for this little session, I want to talk about making your own kind of music. Now, I'm not talking about turning on a music player or a television and listening to that music. I'm talking about actually creating music yourself. Now, of course, you can enjoy listening to music, you can enjoy the radio, you can enjoy CDs, digital media, whatever. But the reason I want to talk about making your own kind of music is because one of the things I want to focus on is expression. And it's kind of hard to express yourself solely by listening to music. You can listen to a certain genre, perhaps, and let others know what you like. You can also listen to certain types of music to inspire you. There's no problem with that. But when you make your own music, you experience it in a whole new way. And it's an art form, just like any other art form, because you create it and others create it. And most communities like music. I don't really know of any collection of people that don't make some sort of music, be it very basic or elaborate. But the reason I'm focusing on these more basic, crude, whatever tools you want to call them, is because not only are they kind of like a lore heritage thing of humanity, but they're also portable, small. You can carry them in a little tote bag. When you go places, if you go to the beach and you want to just mess around with some little music, you can. Generally, it isn't not super loud, so you're not disturbing other people, but you can create and experience the rhythm, the tones, the spirituality that music can offer. So, with that, let me talk about some of these I have. Now, you will not see a flute on here. I have to record these at night, and I'm sure people around will not appreciate a flute or any kind of loud drums or anything like that. But I can make a little noise. This here, I picked this up very recently at a store that does a lot of, I would call it earthy stuff. The clothing there is very much like people who are very in tune to the earth and everything wear, and the instruments, the kits, all kinds of stuff they have there. And I really enjoy going in there at least once a week and looking around. But this I picked up, and they showed me how to use it because I kind of guessed, but really wasn't sure. I thought you just, use it like a little drum. However, this here, when you bring this across, if you do it properly, it sounds like a cricket. They call it a cricket. I suppose you can call it a grasshopper, whatever you want, but it does sound like a cricket. And you can change the tones by how you hold it a little bit. Some of these, I guess, did better than others, but this one I thought spoke to me for some reason. The maraca, that's used in all kinds of music today even. In times past and probably in the future. Everything from rock and roll to tribal music to kids playing. Maracas are just popular. And I'm going to show you how you can make one. If you can't find one, no problem. This little drum thing is so fascinating. Who was smart enough to think of this? I swear, I would have never come up with that. Isn't that the coolest thing? So simple and yet so complex, and the mind that had to think of that. And that is very portable. You can take that anywhere. And I would say it'd make a good fidget toy too. You could sit there for hours and mess with that. Okay, and now an instrument I like to play a lot that's, crude in some respects, but not as crude as those, basic crude, whatever you want to call it. I'm not referring to the word crude in a negative way, but as a description that doesn't have a lot of electronics and stuff. I play the ukulele, and I think everyone should play the ukulele. Yeah, I know, I might be a little biased, but I like the ones with the earthy tones naturally because I'm into that. And this one is tuned lower than most ukuleles. I have a little problem and I don't like harsh high tones, so I got this one tuned differently. And another reason I like the ukuleles is with the nylon strings, they have a very soft tone to them. They're easy to learn, very portable, easy to care for, and yeah, there are some high-end ones, but most of them are an affordable budget for just about everyone. This one is not a real expensive one. I just didn't really like the expensive ones. I thought they looked a little too fancy for me. But if you like them, go ahead. Now, drumsticks. These are exercise drumsticks, so they're weighted and they're heavy. They're not really meant for play on a traditional drum. I use them on a inflatable exercise ball. And that's a lot of fun too. Put on some music and just drum with it. And you can do that or drum on the ball, whatever. And it works up a good aerobic workout. But I wanted to show them as an example for drumsticks because you can make a drum out of just about everything. If you've got cooking pots, if you've got boxes, if you've got an old tire, or even the inflatable ball like I have, anything can be a drum. And including each other. But you can make a drum out of containers like this coffee container. It's empty, and instead of throwing it in the landfill, or I don't even think, well, some of it will compost, but not all of it. I try to compost what I can, but some things just don't. So I try to find another use. And these make great storage canisters for sewing stuff, but they make an excellent drum. I swear, this is the perfect drum. And it's got two types of drums on it. That's the more soft drum. And that's a little more forceful sounding drum. And you can decorate it any way you want. I didn't bother decorating this one because I wanted to show you what I was using so you can get some ideas. If it was decorated, you might not realize what I was doing. You can make your own maracas by containers like these little, they make them for the kids to use for Easter eggs, I guess. I use them for needle holders and stuff. I really like them as containers. And with them being round and alike, I mean, they just fit in a drawer so nice. But anyway, that's getting off the subject. If you have some rice or some beans, as I got here, just put a few in there, close them up. And their beans don't go to waste either, because when you're done playing your little homemade maracas, or shakers, or whatever you want to call them, you can always cook the beans up, and there is no waste in that way. I like to use recyclable items, and instruments, crude instruments, are the way to go. You can make an instrument out of anything. Now, if you use BBs, you'd get a little more of the sound, more like that. I have some BBs, don't know what I did with them. I think they're in the garage, but I wasn't going to go out there at night to get it. And then you can always reuse those again for other things. You say they're great for needle cases or whatever, but as far as music, you can just do about anything. Now, I didn't bring the spoons in. I do play spoons sometimes, but again, this is nighttime. I don't want anybody hearing the bang, bang, bang of the spoons. They are loud. At least the ones I play with. So, that being said, I hope you explore making your own kind of music. It's an expression. It will put you in tune with your spirituality. And if you look at the type of instruments that people have made over thousands of years, such as flutes and this kind of thing, they're just really amazing. And take time to appreciate the craftsmanship and the ideas that went into it. Maybe even create some of your own. You might invent the next cricket. You never know. And I really hope that you post some of your ideas, because I always like to see what other people come up with and share with others. You can probably make something similar to this, maybe with a tuna can. And well, it depends on what tools you have to use too. I don't have a lot of woodworking tools, so I'm very limited. I have to use the coffee cans and the beans and the eggs. But you probably can make something like this with a small tuna can or sardines or something. Put a stick and some twine and beads. Beads are pretty readily easy to get a hold of, and you can make something with those. You can even use beans in these, or not, yeah, beads. But I don't know if they'll sound as good because they tend to be large and they don't allow enough air between them. But give it a try. Another idea, I don't have the thing here with me. If you have a towel holder roll, they're usually about this long and about that round, and they hold paper towels when they're empty. If you put some rice in there and cap the ends with some tape or something, and then just move it back and forth. The kids one year at school made what they call rain sticks like that. I think they put a few of the rolls together, so the thing was about 3 feet long. And that was pretty amazing. I would have not expected it to sound the way it does. It actually does sound like rain. And they put on a program, and the kids had all made their instruments, and it was so... I don't have words to see the joy on their faces and how they connected with the music they were making, and the audience could really get into it too. I really think as an art form, music has a language of its own, and it's universal, and I think everybody can benefit from putting music in their life in some way. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be the radio. It could be your basic tools, or you can go elaborate, play electric guitar, whatever speaks to you spiritually and expressive, and I'm sure you're going to find others who enjoy joining you in that experience. Anyway, I don't have a lot more to say on that right now. We will revisit music from time to time in different ways, and anyway, you have a great day and make your own kind of music.